All right, so our yoga class this morning, everyone. So we're going to start in a chair like we usually do. So find yourself your chair. Make sure it's nice and sturdy. Ideally, I like a chair without the handles during our class. But if that's all you have, then you just always modify and, do outside your handles. So we're going to begin today. We're going to do an overall wonderful practice, but we're going to do a little bit of concentration on our joints. We have all these little joints all over in our body. And as we age, they can tend to get a little more stiff. And also that's just one of the benefits of getting older. So moving around and moving them is one of the best things that you can do for your joints. We're going to start today in a mudra, and mudras are basically little hand gestures, typically with your fingers. It can be with your body, but it directs energy flow to particular parts of our body. So we're going to do, I don't know if I've done this one with you before, but it's called Matsya Mudra. You don't have to remember that. So let's just take a couple cleansing breaths here. Just rest your palms up on your lap. Arrive in your space. Good, just for this hour for yourself, and congratulate yourself that you brought yourself to yoga this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're doing this, if you do it on the YouTube video. Take a nice big breath in and let it go. Again, take a nice breath in and breathe out. And one more big breath in. So incoming breath energizes the body, and exhaling breath relaxes the body. Yeah. All right, we're going to come into this mudra. So we're going to bring our left, so I'm not mirroring you now. Oh, I'll mirror you. Bring your left hand down on your lap. Bring your right hand on top of your left hand. And your thumbs are just sticking out like little. So it looks like a little fish. This is your little friend, your little mudra friends. Yeah. And then rest your hands just on your lap. If you want to bring your legs together a little bit and just rest your hands on your lap or one of your thighs. Yeah, good. So just right hand on top of left, thumbs reaching out as much as is comfortable on your body. You can look down and it looks like this little fish laying in your hands. And float your eyes closed. Have a gentle, tall spine. Good. And we're just going to tap into long, slow, deep Ujjayi breaths here, maybe about 5 to 6 of them. So a little restriction of the back of your throat, as if you're trying to stop your breath as you breathe in, both in and out of your nose. You can start to practice the just slowly breathing in through your nose and slowly breathing out. And feel that breath rushing out of your throat. Yeah, it's just very gentle. If you don't have Ujjayi or it's a struggle, just breathe deeply. So breathing in, pause for just a second at the top of the breath and breathe out. And as you breathe out all the way, squeeze out all the air. And just continue at your own pace, breathing in slowly through the nostrils. Pause at the top, breathe out fully, slowly, slow as you can, let that breath out. So the breath is not strained at all. It's nice and relaxed and slow and smooth. And continuing on with just breathing gently and deeply, fully. So this mudra helps to direct energy to our body, our whole body. Yeah. It helps to make us fit and healthy. Yeah, and encourages healthy aging. Yes, it also is just good for our memory and our brain. And finally, it relaxes our muscles and our stressed out endocrine system. It just invites relaxation. right? So health and memory and relaxation, along with energy. Just do about 3 more nice, slow, deep breaths. Notice the body as you exhale just relaxes. Bring a little smile onto your face. Smile at your little fish friend laying in your lap. And the next time that you exhale your breath, eyes remain closed. Yeah, and just release the breath. And now bring both of your palms gently up on your lap, tops of your hands resting on your thighs. And just notice the effects of the breath. Know that you've done some good connecting with your body, sending good vibes out to your body for health and energy. And then when you're feeling ready, you can go ahead and flutter your eyes open. So just taking that little bit of time to just become aware, bring awareness to your body. Yeah. So anytime you want, just again, it's the left hand is on the bottom, right hand's on the top, and you can invite that anytime you want during the course of your days. Yeah. That's your little friend. You can even draw little eyes on your fingers if you want. I mean, that's not part of the mudra, but it's fun. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start to move the body a little bit. So let's just start to shake, nice and easy, wiggle the head, shake the body. Just bring your awareness to how your body is feeling. Feeling a little stiff. Sometimes the cold weather, it's the middle of winter right now, and just the cold weather just brings that sometimes a little stiffness in our body for many reasons, because of the cold, but also we tend to move less because we don't go out as much, right? And so that stiffens the body too, and relax. Good. All right. So feet on the floor, and as if your toes, if there's a piano keyboard underneath your toes, you're just going to start to wiggle your toes as if you're playing the piano with your toes. We'll get a little music in here. Matter of fact, we'll get a lot of music in. Yeah, good. So start wiggling your toes like you're playing the piano. Good. And then relax your toes now. And lift your heels up and drop your heels. Lift your toes up and drop your toes. Lift your heels and drop. Lift your toes and drop. Now lift your left toe up and right heel up and drop, and lift your right toe up and left heel, opposite. Good. We'll do that a few times. Opposite, got to think about that a little bit. So we're waking up our brain a little. Yeah, just opposite toe to heel. Good. And relax. All right. So we're going to sit, if you're not already, we're going to sit all the way back into our chair. Yeah. So I want you to see if you can have your low back supported. And we're going to be lifting our legs. So having that low back with some support can make it a little easier. You can also hold on to the sides of your chair here if you'd like to start with. Good. And now we're going to tuck that low belly in, below your navel, draw it back. Yes. And then lift your right knee up and extend your right heel forward. And then rebend and release. Good. Lift your left knee and extend and lift the back up and release. Good. So holding onto the chair and having your back supported makes it a little easier. And just go as high as you can and extend as much as you can. This is really helping that core get engaged, right, and strengthened. Also just getting a little movement in our knee joint here. Good. And release, and one more, up and extend, and up and release. Now, if that was feeling okay to you, a little bit to take that a little bit further if you want, you can fan your arms out to wherever they're comfortable. Yeah. And now we're gonna lift the right knee, extend, rebend, and just notice the difference. Really tug that belly in. And if this feels like too much on your back or whatever, you can go back to holding on. Yeah. Right knee up, extend, smile on the face, and release. Left, extend, rebend, release. One more. Up, give it your 100%, stretch the leg out, rebend it, and release. Up, stretch, up, and release. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but it's really, your legs weigh a lot. So when we're lifting the weight of our legs up, it's a lot of work, and it really needs to come from here. Most of the time we feel it in our back, but when our belly's tucked in, that's where it belongs, the help to do that. Okay, now we're gonna scoot back more forward in our chair. So scoot your hips towards the front of your chair here. Yeah, good. All right, so let's take a nice big breath in and exhale it out. Good. Now we're gonna lean forward a little bit and grab behind our right knee. Good. And then we're gonna inhale the knee up. Good. And then just make some circles with that knee. Nice and relaxed. Yeah. You can have your leg lower. Again, that low belly, that area below your navel is tucked back to your back spine. And then reverse opposite direction. So we're just getting a little lubrication here in our hip joints. Good. And go ahead and release that down. Good. Let's do the other side. So behind the knee, clasping the hands. Good. And just lift it up to where it's comfortable for you. And just you can do little circles, or if you're feeling that you're open today, you can do bigger circles for yourself. Yeah. And then reverse opposite direction. Good. Again, just warming up these joints. We have all this, what's called synovial fluid in all of your joints. Release. And it's nice to move it around the joint. And so when we move our joints nice and easily, that's what it does. It massages that. All right, so we're gonna come into a little bit of a lunge. So we're gonna scoot our body over to the right. Good. And if you want, you can send this left hip off the chair a little bit. Good, so just the outside hip. And then easily, we're just gonna slide our toe back. Yeah, just to where you're comfortable. We're gonna come into a little twist here. Get some nice motion in our spine. So you can hold on to the back of your chair here, if you'd like. Let's take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, start to turn over to the right. And you can grab onto the sides of your chair with both hands or the top of your chair. Or you can just keep this left hand on the outside of the right leg. And then just turn towards the back of your chair. Keep your spine nice and tall. Yes, as you turn and land. And then you can even look over your left shoulder, or your right shoulder rather, and breathe with the opposite shoulder. Yeah. 2 and 1. Long breath, and on your next exhale breath, you'll relax the body a little bit and slowly turn back to the side, back forward with your body. Good. Take your hand behind this outside leg, lean forward. On an inhale breath, just slide slowly your foot back next to the other. Grab the back of your chair and slide both of your hips back onto your chair. And we're gonna scoot forward in our chair here. Good, and let's just do the other side. Yeah, so scooting to the other side of your chair here. Take this outside hip and maybe hang it off the chair. It allows for an easier lunge. Hold on to the back of the chair and slide that outside leg here. Probably your left or your right. Yeah. Good, just to where it's comfortable. And then find a tall spine. Anytime we're doing twists, we don't want to be hunched forward. We want that spine to be nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, twist at your waist towards the back of your chair. Hands can hold on to either side of the chair. I have a small chair, so it's easy. If you have a wide chair, you know, it could be better for you or not. Maybe the top of the chair, just wherever it's comfortable. And then slowly turn your head to look over the left shoulder and breathe. This should feel nice. So good for our spine. A nice stable twist. And breathe for 2 and 1. And on the next exhale breath, relax the body. Slowly turn the body back forward. Yeah. And then you can lean forward slightly. Grab the back of this outside thigh. And on an inhale breath, just tell that leg come back up next to the left leg. And then scoot your hips over. Good. And now scoot your body back to the front. Good. All right. So find your seat again. Nice tall spine. Good. We're going to stretch our arms forward. We're going to flip our palms up and getting into our little elbow joints now. We're going to take a breath in here and exhale. Just bring your fingertips to your shoulders, touch. And inhale forward and exhale, touch your shoulders. So breathing in and out of the nose. Anytime you can tap into that Ujjayi breath. Yes, that Ujjayi, just to remind you, it slows your breath down. It heats your breath, right? It helps deepen your breath. Good. But just feeling that nice back and forth with this elbow joint. We kind of forget about our elbows, right? That's a joint too. Yeah, unless you have an injury, then you don't forget about it. Good. And then bring the hands forward. Good. Flip the palms down now and bring your hands into a fist, and let's get into our wrist joints here. But just nice and stretchy with your circling your fists, and then reverse, go the opposite direction. And be mindful, but just try to do it slowly and as big as you can. Good. And then let's take a little bit of a break. Let's bring our fingers down and let's find that piano keyboard under our fingers. And let's just start to play the piano. Don't forget about your little thumb. It was your little fish fins, right? And just wiggle your fingers around like you're playing the piano. There's a little bit of tension in the fingers. Yeah, just moving them around. So little, so many things we can do when we become a little bit less active that really help to keep our joints not being so stiff. Good. And then relax. Good. Bring your hands and interlace them, and then just wiggle your hands around. Again, good for the fingers and the wrists, joints. Good. All right. And relax. Good. Get a nice tall spine. Take a breath in. As you exhale, turn your head over to the left. So the spine is tall and you're turning your head as far as you can over to the left. You're breathing. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. Turn a little bit more each time you exhale, stretching the neck. And then inhale, slowly come back forward. Good. And exhale, slowly turn over to the other side. Good. This should feel so nice on your neck. And breathe. 2 and 1. On your next exhale breath, relax and slowly come back forward. Getting into our little jaw joint here. That's another joint that gets really stiff, right? Let's bring our peace fingers and open your mouth slightly and close it. And find that place where you're the jaw joint where you're feeling that opening and closing. Yeah. And then keep your mouth open slightly and just massage, like dig your little fingertips into that muscle and make little circles there. You don't even feel this when you're not tending to it, but man, I always feel like, wow, I guess my jaw is really tight. Yeah. If we smile more, it releases that jaw joint too. And relax. And now let's just, nice tall spine. Let's open our mouth as wide as we can. And close it. And open. And close. Good. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale. Keep the shoulders back as you drop your chin. So shoulders are sliding back. On an inhale breath, let's roll the head over to the right and up and over to the other side and down. About just 2 circles on each direction here, nice and slow. Inhaling, so big breath, always big breath. Literally, if we just sat and did breathing would be a great class. And if you haven't already, just reverse, do a couple rotations, opposite direction. Good. And next time you come forward, pause, good, and slowly come back up. Let's do a little cat-cow, and then we'll do some standing poses. So bringing your fingers in towards each other, if that's comfortable, bringing your hands, just rest them onto your thighs. Good, take a big breath in, lift your heart and look up. And exhale, round your back. Stretch your spine towards the back of your chair. And inhale up. Having your elbows out doesn't feel good to you. You can just have your fingers forward. But just do a couple stretches with your spine. Good. Exhale. And one more. And release. Come back, lift the head, bring the hands onto the lap. And we're going to do one more little side bend for our spine. Right, so we're going to start with our left hand onto our right thigh, right arm down alongside the body, turn the palm out. So you can kind of hold onto your thigh here, find your tall spine, inhale, slowly float your arm up. Keep the fingers relaxed, keep the arm relaxed as it just floats up towards the sky. Certainly keep the shoulder relaxed. Take a nice big breath in, stretch up as tall as you can. Tuck that low belly in and exhale, just lean over. So you're holding on with that left hand and you're stretching over with the right. And then you can turn your head and look underneath your right arm. You'll find that that sort of moves that right shoulder back in alignment more with your ear. Breathe, smile, enjoy this gift that we have that's called our body. And then press down into your feet, slowly come up. And exhale. You can either watch that right hand float down, if you like, or not. Yeah. And lifting the head up and forward. Good. And we're going to go over to the other side. We're taking the right hand to the left thigh now. Relax the arm down. Turn the palm out. You're going to press into your feet as you float that arm up. That sometimes takes the pressure off anything you're doing with your upper body when we're using our lower body as well. Take a breath in, stretch up as tall as is comfortable. And as you exhale, reach up and lean over. Good. And you can look underneath that left arm if you'd like. And breathe. Long, slow, deep breath. Good. And then pressing into your feet, slowly come back up. As you exhale, relax that arm down. Good. So that might have tightened your shoulders up a little bit. So we're just going to lift the shoulders up and release it out. Let's relax our arms down and then lift your right shoulder up and back. And then your left shoulder up and back. You can even add the arm a little bit if you want. And just really getting into the shoulder joint. Shoulder is the most complicated joint in our body. So we want to keep that joint nice and lubricated. Yeah, good. One more round here. Your right and your left. And relax. Good. And let's just shake it out. Piano key your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Just moving. And we'll make our way to a stand if that's something that you would like to do. You don't need to do that. You can remain in your chair. Slide your heels back. Lean your body forward. Press down into your feet and your toes. And let's arrive at the back of our chair here. Good. Good. And relax. Good. So speaking of getting up, one of the things that's really easy to do, especially this time of year when we're complacent, so let's just start to move however you want to move. But I just want to give you a little tip on keeping your joints less stiff. That for ideally every 15 to 30 minutes, if you're sitting down, just stand up and for 30 seconds, just do this, right? It gets your blood flow going, it gets your muscles energized again, and then just sit back down. Yeah, at the very least, every hour, if you can remember. And to start with, sometimes you can set a timer for at least every 30 minutes or every hour. And when the little ding goes off, just stand up for 30 seconds and just do this. Move around a little bit. And then you can sit back down. It's so healthy for our body. Yeah, so you can keep your chairs forward or you can slide it out to the side. Good. All right, so we're gonna bring our feet a little bit wider apart. We're gonna soften those knees. Yeah, bring our hands onto our hips. Good. And then let's just rock the hips side to side. So keep your knees nice and soft as you're sliding your hips side to side. Again, just imagining that femur bone that's in your hip socket is just pulling around in there and getting nice and lubricated. Yeah, good. And come back to center. And now if you want to do a couple of hip circles, keep those knees soft though. Don't block out your knees. Waking up the hips and the lower body. And then reverse, let's go the other direction. And come back to center. We're gonna just do the breath of joy. So you might wanna have your feet still wide apart, but maybe not as wide. And again, we're gonna soften our knees. Good. On an inhale breath, you're gonna reach your arms up. Now straighten your knees. Reach your arms out, lift your chest, look up. Good. And as you exhale, drop your head and then give yourself a hug and soften your knees and just drop your head. Maybe round your back a little bit. Good. Press into your toes as you straighten your knees. Start lifting your arms back up. Called the breath of joy. Big breath in and exhale, opposite arm on top. Curl in, give yourself a hug. Just drop your head, round your back a little, whatever's comfortable, not anything big. Inhale, reach up, look up. Good. Exhale, round in, soften those knees, send your hips back a little bit. And one more. Inhale, up. This time we're gonna pause. As we lift up, lift your heart, look up, open your palms up towards the sky, and think of one thing you're grateful for right now. And then exhale, round in. Give yourself a hug. Yeah. And slowly bring the body back up. Yeah, in our classes last month, from Thanksgiving till Hanukkah or Christmas, we're doing a daily grateful, write down a couple things you're grateful for. We called it the turkey trot. I have to rename it. Just a grateful practice. And bring your feet back to hip distance apart and wiggle it out. Good. All right, feet about, again, a little bit wider apart. Soften the knees again. Make sure that you don't have anything that you might hit, because we're just gonna bring our bodies side to side here. Inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other. That opposite heel lifts a little bit to keep that knee soft, those knees soft. So big breath here. Inhale and ha, exhale. Inhale and ha, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Ha. Body's just nice and loose. Big breath, especially that ha, exhale. Almost like you're letting go of all the tension that we tend to hold. We've come a long way in our life, and over the lifetime that we've had so far, we have learned to hold tension. And that is what makes us sick. So find ways to release that tension, usually singing, dancing, moving, doing yoga. Yeah. And relax, come back together. And even if you don't feel like it, right? You just stand up that, every 30 minutes or every hour and just make noise and move your body and sing a song if you want, and sit back down. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna come into a warrior two pose here. So we're gonna, actually, let's soften our knees a little bit. So let's bring our hands onto our thighs. We're gonna take a breath in. And as you exhale, glide your hands down your thighs. Start to send your hips back. Yeah. And then just land, if you can, on your knees or above your knees. Yeah. And now here, we're just gonna make these little slow circles with our knees. Yeah, knees and hips, probably all of us, if we haven't already had a replacement, we definitely know many that have. So this helps us to just stave off that possibility of having to have those joints replaced. But if you do, science is amazing. Now reverse, go the other direction. And come back to center. Good. Look down at your hands and walk your hands one at a time up your thighs. Good. And come to a stand. Nice tall spine. Here's our mountain pose, right? Feet are forward, toes are forward. Lift your kneecaps up. So we just loosen those knees up as if you're lifting them up towards the sky. Yeah, tuck your tailbone down. Lift your shoulders gently up and back and down. Palms are forward. Good. Chin is back, tucked back just slightly. Find a smile on your face and breathe. And even gently press your toes, your piano toes into the floor. See if you can soften your gaze or even close your eyes here. And feel how sturdy you are with your joints all stacked, one on top of the other, right? Head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, hips above the knees, knees above the ankles, or stacked, yeah. Nice and strong when we have our joints stacked. And when you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open, yeah, because as we age, we tend to go forward. And then now your joints are no longer stacked, right? Your hips are back. And that's when we get a little precarious and maybe sometimes have tendency to trip or fall. But just standing up nice and tall is so healthy for our body. Okay, so let's come to a little bit like as wide of a stand as comfortable on your body. Toes start forward. We're gonna just rock those hips again, side to side. This, as you're a little bit wider stance, you have that stretch on the inside of your thighs. Yeah. Good. Now come back to center here. We're gonna lift these out, the right toes up, pivot on your right toes. We're setting up for warrior two. Yeah, good. And then we're gonna bring our hands today on our hips. Good. And then we're gonna try to square our hips to the front of the room. So these right toes, I'm looking down at mine now and it's on an angle a little bit forward. I want to see if I can have it straight out to the side, if that's available to you. Yeah, good. And hips, as much as you can, hips forward. Tendency is to have the hips go to the right. Yeah. And now mindfully with that right thigh reaching back, you can even help it. You can soften your knee just to right above the ankle. We're really keeping that upper thigh moving back, not caving in. Good. Taking a little time to get a nice warrior two pose here. So you can keep your hands on your hips if that feels comfortable, if you have any shoulder issues or injuries. Good. And turn your head and look over to the right. Now, if you want to add your arms, you can stretch your left arm out to the side wall. And if it's available to you, right arm, right in opposite direction of the left. So both hands stretched out to the sides, finding yourself in your warrior two pose. Take a breath in here, big breath. Exhale, see if you can relax your shoulders back and down. Bring your awareness to that right thigh. Just try to reach it back a little bit. So don't let it cave in. Your little toes are pressing into the floor. You're feeling so stable, but relaxed, so strong, but taking the tension out of that strength. And breathe. And enjoy this beautiful pose, strengthening our joints, the muscles around those joints to keep them stable. Good. And on your next exhale breath, go ahead and relax your arms down. Keep your legs where they are. Slowly turn your head forward. At any point in time, if this stance is getting to be too much, you straighten the knee, come in and meet us back. We're just going to come into a couple breaths in side angle. We're going to take that right hand, the right palm, and lift it up. We're going to lean the body over to the right. Keep the spine tall, not leaning forward. right? Leaning right over that leg. Bring the top of your hand onto your thigh. Bring the left arm out and up if it's available. Good. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, start to lean over to the right just a little bit more. Press down into that right hand. That's going to give you some leverage. And just stretch tall. Stretch from the outside of the left foot. So press into the outside of that left foot as you reach that left arm to the upper right corner of the room. Whole right, left side stretch here. And breathe. 2 and 1. Press into your toes. Reach that arm to slowly back up. And exhale. Slowly flip the left arm down. Yeah. Again, taking it slow so that the muscles don't seize up. The joints don't seize up. Press down into your right foot. Straighten that knee. We're just going to do one little triangle pose. So if it's available to you, bring the arms out to either side, or you can keep your hands on your hips. Good. And we're going to start to lean to the right. Don't block this knee out though. There's a tiny bend in that right knee. Good. And stretch and reach over to the right as far as it's comfortable. Exhale. Now bring the hand onto your thigh, wherever it landed, and reach that left arm up again. Good. And breathe here. Good. Yeah. So that right leg is pretty straight, but it's not locked back. You can even look over to the left if that's available to you. Press into your toes for stability. Breathe for 2 and 1. Inhale, lift those left fingertips up towards the sky to float the body back up. I know we're probably getting tired in this stance, but you got it. Relax the arm down. Good. And then lift the right toes up a little bit. Slowly pivot your right toes forward. And then bring your heels in, your toes, and your heels, and your toes. Or you can just step, step, step. Ha, ooh, shake it out. Just feel like your body's a rag doll, right? Like Gumby. Remember Gumby? Yeah. And I don't even know if they have those anymore. Anyway, wiggle the feet, just shake off any tension. If you watch nature, you see that nature, or if you have an animal, they shake a lot. And they're basically just shaking off the tension, the dust and the tension off their body. Yeah, so they can just be right in the present moment. Good. All right, so are we ready to do the other side? Let's do the other side. Again, make it comfortable for yourself. Good. So coming to a wide stance. Good. Toes are starting forward here. Slide the hips side to side. Good. Just having a little bit of a wide stance is really helpful for our hips. Yeah. Good. And now coming to the center, lifting the left toes up, pivoting on the left heel, and bringing the left toes down. My tip of the toes is in the sun now. Good. All right. Again, hands on hips. Take a breath in. That left thigh is moving back as you soften the left knee. Good. And keeping the hands on your hips if you like, or turn the gaze over to the left. Stretch the right arm back if that's available to you, and the left arm forward. Find your warrior 2 on this side. Beautiful pose, right? Peaceful, lovely warriors. Let's take a breath in. As you exhale, see if you can relax your shoulders back and let them melt down towards the floor. Relax your fingers, even though your arms are extended, relax your arms. Relax your face, put a little smile on your face, and breathe. Gently pressing into your toes. Yes. Big breath here. Notice with each exhale breath, see what you can relax and soften in this breath. I know this is challenging, but the breath can help you to get through the challenge and stay there a lot longer, right? Because you're oxygenating your blood and your body and your muscles. That breath. And on your next exhale breath, let the arms float down. Good. We're going to look forward with our head. We're going to bring our left palm up. Good. We're going to just lean over to the left slightly and relax the top of your left hand on the very top of your thigh. If you want to go further, you can go down, right? You can even put your forearm down. But you want to keep not moving forward. You want to keep the shoulders in line with that leg. Yeah, good. So find your hand. Inhale, reach that arm up. Good. Exhale, reach that right arm up and over towards the left upper corner of the room. You're gently pressing into the top of this left hand for leverage. And breathe. For 2. And for 1. Good. Press down into your toes. Slowly come back up. Good. Exhale, release that arm down. Again, slowly. Press into your left toes to straighten, almost completely straighten your left knee. Again, there's always a little soft bend. Never want to hyperextend that knee back. It's really bad for that knee joint. Yeah, good. All right, so we're pretty straight on that leg. We're gonna fan the arms out if it's available to you, or you can do hand on hip. Good. And then slide your left fingers to the side wall. Slide your hips over to the right a little bit. And then release that left hand onto your thigh, wherever it's comfortable, and up. You just don't want it on top of your knee. And breathe. Good. And keep that upper shoulder back. Don't let it collapse forward. You can even look over to the right. Breathe. Belly's tucking in here. That's going to protect that low back. And breathe. 2. And 1. Nice job, everyone. Inhale, lift the right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, just allow that right arm to float towards the floor. Good. All right, lift the left toes up. Slowly pivot the toes forward and release the left toes down. And then heel toe your feet, or just little baby steps. Step yourself back to mountain pose. And again, immediately find mountain pose, engage those kneecaps. If there's one thing you remember about mountain pose, when you're walking, when you're standing, have those kneecaps engaged, not just hanging out there. And you'll see that that just ignites all of these big muscles to keep us up, to keep us strong. Yeah, let's roll out the shoulders. That might feel nice. And roll the shoulders forward. Good. Let's bring our feet a little bit wider apart. Good. Hands on hips. Soften your knees and just do some circles with those hips and making this feel good. It's also a little bit of movement for our back and our spine, especially that lower spine. And then reverse, go the opposite direction and just enjoy the stretch. Good. All right, come back to center and then bring feet back to hip distance apart. And we're gonna use our chair now. We're gonna come to the right side of our chair here. We're gonna do a little balance with tree pose. Also, when we strengthen our muscles, it secures our joints. So it's really important to keep our muscular, strength at its peak, right? Because that protects our joints. All right, so we're just gonna start with shifting the weight into this inner leg, right? So you're probably on the right side of your chair. Yeah, and you're gonna bend this outside knee. Good. All right, so just right there is, and bringing your hand onto your hip. Good. Now we're gonna lift the toe up off the floor if you can. And let's just get into our ankle joint here. Working all the joints today. Yeah. I'm getting a little snap, crackling, and popping, and then reverse, opposite direction. If having your foot off the floor, you can have your toe here and just rock that foot gently side to side. Yeah. We'll reverse now. Good. And let's just take a little break. Good. And shake it out. Wiggle both feet out. Good. All right. Now we're going to come into balance pose. So tree pose. You can start with your hand on your chair. It's your little companion here in this class, our little chair companion. Good. Rock the weight into the inside leg. Bend the right knee. You'll notice many times that when we now take the weight off of this leg and put all the weight into this leg, the weight, your body dumps down into this leg. But we want to engage that left kneecap. We're going to lift the chest, the heart up, nice and tall, and get some of that pressure off that standing leg. Good. And now here, you can either keep the knee bent, you can take the knee out to the side on your toe, you can bring that bottom of your foot to the inside of your ankle or your shin. Yeah, so find your tree legs. So either knee forward, knee out, foot in, or you can, if you want more of a challenge and you're feeling like that today, then you can onto the shin, just not on your knee. Lift the chest, bring the gaze straight forward. Find a spot to stare at that's not moving. Little spot on the wall in front of you. Good. Now see if you can just gently press into the standing toes. And see if you can float one hand to your heart center, that right hand, and maybe you can float your left hand off the chair and bring your hands into prayer position. When you start to feel a little wiggling and shaking with the body, that's good. That's your brain contacting the body and the body contacting the brain. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little easier if you tuck your tummy in and up, and maybe even reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Yeah. And if you gently topple out, just smile and find your way back into a form of tree with us, and breathe. Do not forget to breathe here. Tell yourself, I've got this, I've got it. Can balance. Yes. 2 more breaths. Smile on the face. And we're going to come out slowly, bringing your palms together, floating your hands to your heart. Yes. Bringing your hand back onto the chair. Good. And then relax and bring that knee back forward and release your legs. Good. And shake it out. Should really be maybe feeling that left hip a little bit. So maybe doing a little jig to just get everything loosened up, any tension. I like to wiggle my feet. That feels like I get rid of a lot of the tension in my legs. Yeah. Good. But nice strong muscles. Yeah. And shake out the hands. Why not? Good. And relax. Let's slide ourselves over to the other side. Good. And do the same thing on this side. So being very mindful with each movement. You know, it's not a race to get into the pose, right? It's a journey. Right? It's not about the destination. It's about the journey to that pose. Good. All right. So nice tall spine. Okay. Weight into this inside leg now. Bend the outside knee. Good. And if it's available to you, you can bring your hand onto your hip. And if it's available to you, lifting that knee up a little bit and doing some slow circles as if it's going, your foot is going through cold molasses, or stirring cold molasses. Yeah, or cookie dough. That's better. And then reverse, opposite direction. Again, if the foot's on the floor, you can just rock it side to side. It's gonna get that ankle joint some relief. And release the leg. Good. And let's do a little shake it out. Good. Shake out the shoulders, the body. Good. All right. Let's coming into tree pose on this side. So again, begin with a nice tall spine. Because if we begin with body forward, we're just setting ourselves up for a real challenge, right? Because we're not allowing the upper body to keep us nice and lifted and take a lot of the pressure off the lower body. So slide to the inside leg and bend that left foot now. Good. All right. And now engage the kneecap on this leg. Squeeze your glute muscle back there. Yeah, get this leg so strong, like it feels like cement, like a cement pole. Yeah, good. And then you can either stay knee bent, so you can bring the knee out to the side, bottom of the foot to the inside ankle. Nice tall spine. Good. And or you can bring whatever you did on the other side, try to do the same thing on this side. You can. Yeah. All right. Now find that spot straight ahead to stare at. Good. Great. Now bringing your left hand to your chest, thumb onto your heart. And maybe slowly you release your right hand from the chair and bring it to prayer position. Yeah, you can always hold that chair back if you're feeling a little tumbly today. That's fine. This pose is different every day. Good. And then tucking the belly in and up gives you strength and stability. And reaching maybe your hands up towards the sky, stretching up tall with your upper body. Keep staring at that spot and tell yourself, I've got this. I am so stable, so strong. Yeah, and breathe. And that body moving and wobbling is good. That's good work. Your muscles are working. Breathe for 2 and for 1. And then slowly bring your palms together. And slowly bring your hands to heart center. Good. And release your hand onto the chair. Good. And then bringing your knee forward and releasing the pose. And relax. So nice. Good, good, good. All right, wiggle it out. Shake it off. Even shake the arms, blink the eyes. Yeah. Relax the shoulders, go all the way down your body, right? From your jaw to your shoulders, to your elbows, to your hands, your hips, your knees, your feet, all those joints. We're so happy. We have happy joints today. Good. And relax. All right, we're going to make our way back to our chairs here. Sitting down very mindfully. So right in front of your chair here, make sure you see where you're going to land back there. Good. And then feet are just comfortably wide apart. And then start to reach your hips back. So many of us, when we sit down, we start with bending our knees. So when we bend our knees and have them in forward from our ankles and certainly our toes, it's a lot of pressure on our knees. So when we send our hips back to sit down, you'll see that the knees don't do this. They stay more above your ankles. Take a breath in, and the hips back. Maybe sit down a little bit further. You can at any point in time, grab the front of your chair. Use your toes to press into the floor. Come into a nice, soft landing in our chairs. Here we are. We have arrived. Good. All right. We're going to come scoot forward into the front part of our chair here. We're going to bring our legs out wide. Good. So now we're nice and stable. We're grounded, right, with our hips on a chair. Good. Good. Now we're just going to make circles. So we're going to keep our head above our shoulders. We're not going to move our head around, right? And a nice tall spine, so heart's lifted. Take a breath in and exhale. Press your belly forward and your chest forward. And then come over to the right. And then you can hold on to your legs and your knees. As you come back, you're tucking that low belly in and over to the other side. And just do a couple of beautiful, wonderful circles for those hips. You can even close your eyes here if you'd like. Next time you come forward, reverse, go the opposite direction. But as you're making circles, notice that one hip bone lifts up and then grounds, and the other hip bone lifts up. Your belly is tucking back. Squeeze that low belly back towards your spine, back towards your tailbone. Good. Next time you come forward, pause, slowly come back up. Good. Bring your toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in. So we're still scooted forward in our chair here. We come into a nice back bend. So relax your arms down alongside the chair. Slide your hands back. See if you can grab onto the back of your chair somewhere. Get a nice solid grip with both hands. Good. And now stretch your shoulders back. Opens up this front shoulder so nicely. Yeah. And lift the chin. Doing this helps to ignite energy into that thymus gland right behind your sternum and your thyroid. Yeah. Relaxing, again, releasing and giving some rest to that overstressed endocrine system that we have with just living in this thing called life. And breathe. And just try to stretch those shoulders back as much as you can. And breathe, big breath. And now on an exhale breath, just relax everything. Keep holding onto your chair. And just start to drop our 8 to 10 pound head. Just let that weight fall forward to wherever it lands. So again, stretching now the tops of our shoulders, our whole back spine. back of the neck, just in this beautiful stretch that should feel really nice. And breathe. And enjoy. Relax. Good. Now, when you're ready, on an inhale breath, slowly press into your feet and slowly bring your body back up. Okay, and then just let go the chair there. Good. One more time, flop your fingers around in your wrists. Wiggle your shoulders. Wiggle any joint that you can think of. Your toes, maybe your ankles. Just let them move. Yeah, so taking away from class today, but we're going to go into Shavasana, but just to when you're sitting for a long period of time, just set a timer for at least every hour to just stand up, move and shake, make noise, and sit back down. Yeah. All right, we're going to get ready for Shavasana. Scooting your hips to the very back of your chair. If you're going to remain seated in your chair, palms up on your lap. Good. And if you're going to lay down, feel free to lay down, and we're going to just get ourselves set up. So take about 30 seconds to get yourself so comfortable. If you're laying down, your arms are away from your body, your legs are spread wide just a little bit. Yeah, if you're here, your palms are up on your lap and they're a little bit higher up on your thighs. That's going to keep those shoulders open. Close your eyes now. Yes, and again, let's take a breath in. Hold the breath just at the top for a second. And through the nose, slowly breathe out all the way. Good. And again, breath in. Pause. And slowly breathe out through the nose, noticing how the body just relaxes as you exhale. And one more. And release the breath and come to stillness now. As much as you can, keep the body still just for this next couple of minutes. Feeling the body relax a little more with each exhale breath. Breath is just natural. Feel the back of your head relax, the back of your neck, your shoulders, your back, your spine. Feel your hips melting into your chair. Relax the arms, your wrists, your fingers. Relax the whole body now. Whole body's relaxed. Relax your hip joints, your knees, your ankles, your toes. Allow the body to let go of all of your efforts. Take a breath in and let it go. Feel the body relax. Notice the mind. Any thoughts in the mind. So we have no control of our thoughts. They just keep coming and going. But just allow them to come and go. It's when we get stuck on one of those thoughts that creates tension. So if we notice that we're starting to hook on to one thought, just bring your awareness to your breath. Watch your breath and let go. and a little smile on the face. Feel free to remain here in this relaxed state for as long as you'd like. If you'd like to choose to come out of this state and back into the space and time, first notice how you feel. Relaxation is our true nature. Relaxation is where we feel at home. Welcome home. Take a little bit deeper breath in and let it go. And gently begin to move the body. Sway the body side to side. You are laying down and roll over onto one side and come up to a seat. We're slowly going to make our way back into stillness, back to center. Good. Bringing our hands into prayer position, resting your thumbs onto your heart, eyes closed. Smile on the face. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, bow your forehead to your fingertips. Relax those shoulders. And closing practice today with this. Release resistance to what is. That allows change and healing to happen much quicker. Release the resistance. When you're feeling ready and complete at your own pace, you can gently begin to flutter the eyes open as you lift your head. Thank you all for coming and taking care of your body today, taking care of your mind, taking care of your spirit. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for being here.